Welcome to The Direct Line, the official podcast of OADSP, with host David Rustio. If you have questions or would like to be a guest, please reach out to podcast@oadsp.org.
I'm David Rustio, and today I'm speaking with Becky Watson, Chris Hadley, and Kevin Metz from OADSP. Welcome to the show, folks.
Hi.
Thanks.
It's good to have you here. Can someone tell me what OADSP is?
It's the Ohio Alliance of Direct Support Professionals.
Okay, so you work for our audience.
Absolutely. We sure do.
And I work for you. So here we go. Someone tell us about this program called DSP-U.
All right, I'll take that one.
Okay.
David. DSP-U is a program where we go into high schools and we work with juniors and seniors and get them credentialed. We started back in 2014 with a couple of high schools. In 2022, we rebranded the program and kind of shored it up a little bit, and we got some more schools on board, and now I think we're up to 18 separate cohorts for this year.
Really?
But it's really an exciting program where students get the opportunity to get some job skills, interact with individuals with developmental and intellectual disabilities, and be able to experience some of the career opportunities that lie ahead for them after graduation.
So why on earth have the program? What do you do?
Oh, yeah. The program is, we like to say it's got three components. We have the learning component, the application component, and the demonstration component.
Okay.
The learning component is made up of the DS-PAS curriculum. That is a award-winning, nationally recognized curriculum. There are 20 modules that the students take. They are about 3 hours each, and they can take those online or face-to-face, and covers all kinds of topics that DSPs need to have to be successful in their career. We do an overview of developmental disabilities. The students learn about the history of how individuals with disability has been treated over the years. We talk about the different communication styles. We also even talk about how DSPs are teachers and they're professionals, and how to work with your coworkers and be successful. There's two major components to the program. The first one is the NADSP skill standards and the competency areas, and then the NADSP code of ethics. So we work really hard in integrating those two documents into the program so that when the students graduate, they're well-rounded and they earn a couple of credentials, a national credential and a state credential.
So share with us what NADSP is.
NADSP is the National Alliance of Direct Support Professionals.
Okay, your cohorts with them.
We work together to professionalize the field and to support DSPs and frontline supervisors.
Does every state have an OADSP? Okay.
No, not every state does.
Do many? Or are we lucky here?
We're lucky here. Ohio's very lucky.
And all the supports that it provides for organizations
for
and
DSPs and
DSPs.
frontline supervisors and all of those who work with those folks, yes.
Okay, when we're talking about the DSP-U program, what are some of the components? What are folks learning?
Yeah, the first component was the learn. We talked about the curriculum. The second component is the hands-on approach, and we call that the application. And that's where the students go to an internship site, and they take what they learn and they apply that. And I'm going to throw this one to Chris because I think he's got some insights on the internship sites that he'd like to share.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the intern sites, so in my former life, I was in HR. So when I looked at this program from an HR standpoint, it's a win-win across the board. I mean, getting young professionals into the field to not only learn about the field, but learn all the soft skills that can translate into any occupation, whether they stay in our field or decide to go on to other things like nursing, working in the field as a social worker, being really awesome, going into HR or any of those back office field or positions. Because obviously every agency that provides services, they have those back end operations that are needed. And what better way to get somebody who not only has hands-on experience in the field to work those positions that really know what's going on behind the scenes, the kind of care that's needed, and all the ins and outs. And I think any agency out there that was looking at somebody on paper and saw that they had the experience in the field with clients compared to somebody else, it's a no-brainer. You pick the one that's got the national certifications, the hundreds of hours of training and internships and education and badges and all that. basically DSP-U is training these people to become your next greatest workers.
I actually just interviewed some folks that were graduating high school, and they are prepared the day that they graduate to walk into a job as a DSP.
Yeah, so on top of that, obviously when they go through the internship program, and we're getting them credentialed as the state requires any DSP. So they're getting their 8 hours of DODD training, they're getting their first aid, CPR, we background check, we do all the things as if they were to be hired on with that agency. And then as they go through the internship, they're getting the hands-on training, they're getting the online training, they're getting the classroom training. So when they do graduate from high school, they are ready to hit the field or hit the ground running in the field and hopefully become a lifelong DSP or frontline manager. Or there's stories of tons of people in our field that start out as a DSP and work their way up to CFO, CEO, COO, C anything O. I mean, the options are endless when you get into this field. It's not just providing care, which is obviously the most important, most crucial. But if you find out that maybe it's not for you, or maybe as you get older, you can't do that hands-on care, there's so many different opportunities and avenues that you can go and stay in the field and work with these amazing people.
So literally, if I graduate this program, the minute I graduate high school, I can go to an agency and they can hire me and actually put me in a role.
Absolutely. And we have tons of stories of these agencies saying that we want to hire this intern like right now while they're in the program. I think the feedback and the results speak for themselves. It's rare that we have like that knucklehead that goes in and just bombs it. It's more so these people that get out of it and they're like, I cannot wait to be a DSP. I cannot wait to get into this field. I want to go to school, or I want to go to college and continue working in this field. Because that's one of the other things that's great about this is there is the flexibility to where you can do morning classes, evening classes, weekend classes, and work around your schedule, or vice versa.
I can imagine, because I've worked in an agency and have for a long time, the savings for that agency, because I don't have to spend thousands of dollars and hours, not thousands of hours, but of dollars getting somebody ready to work. And sometimes it's cumbersome for the DSP too. They want to do their job. They don't want to go through the background checks, and that's all boring stuff. And they certainly would still probably have to do orientation so they get to know the organization, but what a savings all the way around. And is this program expensive for those who go through it?
So the school who onboards the DSP-U program, there is a per student fee.
Okay.
We do have an opportunity for county boards in the area where the school is located that if they partner, if they're a licensed entity of ours and they partner with the school, that we discount that per student fee for the school. And it's a really nice partnership and relationship for the school as well, because the county board is the expert in the field, and they can offer the school and the student something. So they can sometimes go in when the student's working on certain modules, like we have a module that's like an MUI, UI module. And so the expert in the field and the county board, the MUI, UI person, can go in and they are a guest speaker for that module. And so it adds a whole new element for those students as they're learning to get, obviously not divulging HIPAA, but just real life stories that happen and the understanding of the importance of documentation around that and seeking out patterns and trends to be proactive and prevent MUIs from happening, right? That should be the goal for everyone. And so that partnership with the county board have been tremendous in partnering with those DSP-U schools. Plus, then that's also a cost savings for the schools.
If I'm a high schooler and this sounds cool to me, and they find a place that can do a program, but there's no cost to the student, is there?
Correct. No cost to the student. It's on the school side, yes.
Okay.
It is a wonderful opportunity, and it's a great foundation for that student. Obviously, it's a great job for them to work in the field and be a DSP. And I worked as a DSP all through college. And I tell those students it's a good foundation no matter what you want to do. You can work as a DSP through college, and it's a great foundation to further those skills. If you want to be a therapist, if you want to be a teacher, if you want to be a nurse, you're going to, even in those fields, support someone with a disability. And this gives you that foundation and skill set to do so in a way that you need to know. And so it's a great foundation no matter what. Yeah, the internship component at a minimum is about 100 hours.
Okay.
On the average is about 100 hours.
And this is with folks that are
Yes,
going to be served
yes,
or are
yes.
served.
Yes, because then the next component, we have the learn component that Kevin described to you of the module side,
Sure.
and then we have the internship component that Chris talked about, and then we have a competency component, and I'm going to toss it back to Kevin to talk about that.
Yeah, the demonstration portion of the program is where the students take what they learned, they applied it with their skill mentor at their internship site. The skill mentor is the person that works closely with the students at the site and helps them with their competency and demonstration. We enroll all of the students in the NADSP eBadge Academy, and they earn a series of badges related to following the Code of Ethics, having 50 hours of education training, and then they earn badges in crisis management, safety, recreation, documentation, confidentiality, self-care. There's a variety of badges that they can earn. And when they get to 15 badges, then they can apply for their DSP-1, which is their national certification. Okay. And then once they submit their transcripts and their DSP-1 and their initial provider certification training and their first aid and CPR, and they show that they've done some related work, then we audit them, and then they earn their certificate of initial proficiency from OADSP, and that comes with 12 points towards graduation. So the great thing about this program is not only are they getting opportunity to get additional education and learning, they're getting hands-on experience, they're getting nationally certified, and they're getting certified by Ohio, and 12 points for graduation. So it's a really great industry credential and opportunity for students who are exploring their future.
So what advantage is there to having the national designation?
Oh, wow. You can be really proud. You can pound your chest that, hey, I'm nationally certified. You know, there's not a lot of nationally certified folks running around. So when you get a DSP that comes knocking on your door and they have a national certification and an Ohio certification, that's someone you're going to want to hire because you know that they have had additional training, hands-on experience, and they're ready to go.
Does that mean that I could just move to another state and I'm good to go too, or does it not mean that?
Absolutely. It's portable. Your DSP-1 national certification is portable. Of course, we want people to stay in Ohio. Sure. There's no reason to leave. We got plenty of work here,
that's right,
as we all know. But the great thing about it is, yes, it is portable. So if someone has to move or relocate for whatever reason, where their life takes them, they can take it with them.
Without having to go through all of this again in another state.
Correct.
Who do you collaborate with? Who do you partner with?
In this program, there's several partners. We partner with the school, obviously, and then with that internship component, we partner with an agency provider. So any provider of DD services, it could be someone who provides employment services, it could be someone who provides residential services, any DD service, even a school potentially. And then we also partner with those county boards. Like I said, those county board partners are really invaluable to us. They actually help us find internship sites because schools are onboarding this program all over Ohio, and we're a very small team. And so we have to find those internship sites. And so we really rely on that county board to help us say, where are those good sites? I'm located in Cincinnati, Chris is in Dayton area, and Kevin's in Akron. And being that we're spread out, but not all over Ohio, we really do rely on those county board partnerships, and the schools do too. They're the experts in the field. And so those teacher of records who are the teachers for DSP-U really can use those benefits that the county board brings. So those are all of our partnerships around DSP-U, and we rely on those to help this program be successful and help those students be as good as they can be with these skills and reach their max potential in being good DSPs or whatever their future career goals are.
So the county boards talk to the schools, right? Is that how it gets going?
Yeah, it can get going a lot of ways, but yes, oftentimes county boards already have great relationships with their schools. And so yes, they know about this program. County boards work with agency providers and they know the need. We all know we need DSPs in this field, and this program helps to fill that gap. It's not the only answer, but it's a great answer, and it's a good piece of that answer. And county boards have a lot of interest in this program, and yes, they work with schools in helping to get this started often. Schools hear about this program. So when this program in 2022, when we rebranded and redid it a little bit, reworked it a little bit, it was just valued at 4 points. And part of our process was we went back to the Ohio Department of Education Workforce Development. We said, this is a great program. It's a needed program. It's necessary. in our field and our work. DSPs are valuable and necessary, and we know it's worth more. And so we went through an application process to have it revisited, and we got 12 points. So our program went from 4 points to 12 points. Yes.
It's impressive.
It's very impressive, and we're very proud of that, and that's a big deal to schools. We've seen growth. Like Kevin said, we had at 2022, right around that, coming out of COVID. We had 3 active cohorts. COVID was a tough time for everyone, and we have 18 now. So we really have seen some growth, and then getting these 12 points, which just happened at the end of last year, that's going to help us even more. We're very excited about DSP-U. We believe in the program, and we see it just continuing to grow.
So if I'm listening and maybe I'm a DSP with someone in high school in my family, how do I find out if my county has this opportunity?
You can go to our website, and you can find my information on the website and contact myself, Becky Watson, obviously. You can get Chris's information and reach out to him. We also have an inquiries link on our website. You can just send into there, and we can find out if you do. And if you don't, we're happy to make some cold calls even to schools or county boards and find out if it's there, or if they have any interest.
So since you said it, give us the address to the website.
It's www.oadsp.org.
If you're listening and someone who could benefit from this program, reach out. And you could talk to your county board, too.
Absolutely.
I'm assuming to see if they already have something.
And David, we love outreach, and we like to think of ourselves as DSP Without Borders, because not only are we in Ohio, but we have 15 providers in Florida that use the DSP curriculum to train their DSPs.
Okay.
We have some providers in Kansas that use our program to train their DSPs, and our frontline supervisor curriculum is available through the University of Wichita, where there is some micro-credentialing that's going on. So there are people all over the United States using our curriculum to better themselves, to increase their professionalism, and they're getting national certification, and some of them are getting college credit. So we like to think of that we can partner with anyone, and we're always willing to talk to someone about our program and how we can get it started in their area.
So OADSP has a footprint all over the country.
We do, and we are working on increasing that footprint every day.
I'm going to ask Becky to tell us about herself. Folks have been listening to us chit-chat, and so I think it would be helpful if people knew who you were.
So, yeah, I have been in the field for, over 30 years now. I started as a DSP in the field. I believe in this program so much because I started in thinking I was going to be a teacher, actually.
Okay.
And I was in college, and I happened to stumble into the field of disabilities. I was doing an observation in a school, and in that, thinking again I was going to be a teacher, I got paired up with someone who had a disability. And up until that time of my life, other than a friend I had who had epilepsy, I really didn't have a lot of experience with disabilities.
Sure.
And I enjoyed that day so much. I won't even get into it because I could go into it for quite a while, but for just reasons in my life in that time, it just really meant a lot to me, and I absolutely loved it. And I explored it more in my life and thought, you know what, this is something I want to do. I want to work with people with disabilities. So I thought I was going to change and do a dual certification and do special ed and elementary ed. And then I got a job at a provider agency to explore that in Cincinnati as a DSP. And the rest is kind of history. I fell in love with it so much that I changed my major in college, and here I am in the field of disability all these years later. I couldn't leave, and DSP is my favorite job I've ever had in my life.
Sure.
And all the decisions I've made in my life for the jobs I've done throughout it have been closely related to DSP work.
Okay.
Because I believe in it so much. It's the backbone of our system. And none of us would be able to do anything we do without DSPs. They are the ones who make life happen for individuals with disabilities. And DSP-U gives that opportunity to people to know about our field much earlier even than I did, even though I was in college. It gives high school students the opportunity to know about the much needed and valued and enjoyable and fantastic work of being. And then it gives them also skills that they take in their life. I tell them it made me be just a mother, a better mother, a better sister, a better friend, a better citizen, a better caregiver, just a better person.
Okay.
All the way around. And so I can't say enough about the program. And that also gives them skills on what it means to be a professional, right? Because you're a direct support professional.
Yep.
So our curriculum has not only skills about being a good DSP, but also how do you be a good professional? How do you communicate in a workplace? How do you work well with others as a team? It has those kind of skills too. So no matter where they go in life, they're taking so much of that good skills with them to be effective team members. And like I said, just effective all the way around in their life. And then if they don't stay in the field of disabilities, again, they're going to support someone in the field of disabilities, but they're also going to know and be able to just be better advocates for people in general in life with disabilities. And we're just going to be better off as a society because of it.
Wonderful. Now, besides the work in this industry, in this field, what do you like to do?
I'm married 27 years now.
Is it a happy marriage?
It is a happy
Okay,
marriage. Yes,
good.
I'm happily married. 27 years now. I live in the Cincinnati area, and I have two sons. I have a 21-year-old and he'll be 24 this month on the 20th. And so I love to spend time with them and my friends. I love to do anything outside when it's warm and sunny. I love sunshine.
Which we've had warm, just not sunny.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll take warm. I'll take sun, either one. But I love warm and sunny together the best. And I love spending time outside. I enjoy reading, and I enjoy a beach. Give me a beach anywhere, any day.
So if you could leave this interview right now and head somewhere, where would it be?
Florida.
Florida? To the beach?
A beach with a margarita in my hand. Yeah.
Okay. So not Disney World, but a beach.
No, a beach, yeah. That would be my pick.
Okay, great. Chris, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I remember back in high school, my senior year, I only had a few classes I had to take, and it wasn't because I was the AP honors guru. I just made sure I did what needed to be done to graduate. And so come my senior year, there was a DECA program that's very similar to this DSP-U, to where you have one class during school, and then you go off to work and you do business things on the one class, and you earn college credits and things. I just remember back then going, this is great. Like, I'm going out and learning things that is going to prepare me for my future in life and being a professional and all that. When I looked at this DSP-U program, like, this is identical to what I remember going through. And I remember how DECA was awesome, because if I didn't do DECA, I would have loaded up my schedule for my senior year for study halls and wood shop and gym and just nonsense to pass the time. That's what I mean. I really, when I see this DSP-U program, I go back to my senior year, and I probably would have gone into that program knowing now, like, all those soft skills you learn with communication, with dealing or handling people with disabilities and things. And as a young person, obviously you're most likely not a parent, but the things that you learn as far as like nonverbal communication, and then when you become a parent, obviously your babies don't come out speaking at all. So you have those skills in the back of your mind that you can become a better parent because of that, or vice versa. Moving forward, I went to college, found out college wasn't for me, and got into the hotel industry and transitioned into HR with recruiting and all that fun stuff. And I got my feet on the ground in this world as a recruiter many years ago. And I thought I knew it all when it came to people with developmental disabilities, just from learning what agency we were recruiting for. Then a couple years ago, actually started working for a provider as their HR director, and got the real deal, the full scope of the ins and outs, the behind the scenes, the advocacy, legislature, everything. And definitely opened up my eyes that this world is a much bigger world, and we definitely need these people in here to provide services for this growing population. And to Becky's point, not to get off track, but a lot of these people that go through DSP-U, well, I won't say a lot, but there's a good portion that will not stay in the field for whatever reason. But again, to her point, these are going to be people that are going to become nurses, firefighters, police officers, owners of businesses that will most likely encounter somebody with a disability in their life, and they will be able to go back on that training and be able to communicate or do whatever they need to do with this person in the capacity that they're in. Again, I think this program is perfect. It's phenomenal. And even if you're not wanting to go into the healthcare field, the things that you learn just in the classroom setting is going to prepare you for life much better than not.
Okay. So outside of this industry, what do you like to do?
We have a pretty full house at our household. We have a 19-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a soon-to-be 3-year-old. Sports and activities and toddler things are always going on, so my life is pretty much predicated to their schedules right now.
Okay.
Outside of that, I play a little bit of softball. I enjoy being out in the sun and doing things with the kids and families and things like that. Kind of at that stage, especially with the 2-year-old, not a lot of fun things. Can't pack up and go to the beach for the weekend.
Yeah.
But that day will come, and it'll be awesome. But yeah, a lot of it just revolves around the family and what their calendars tell me what I'm doing.
Okay. So you like sports ball?
Big fan of sports ball. All the sports and the goals and the scoring and the celebrations.
Do you like the sports ball where they run to bases and hit a ball with a stick?
Only because they have those fun, illegal kind of bats now that are making all kinds of noises and hitting all the home runs. And who doesn't love a good home run?
Yeah. Okay. I think that leaves us with one person, and this Kevin doesn't like to talk, but he's very good at it. So, Kevin, tell us about yourself.
Sure. My story started last century in the 80s.
Okay.
I was 20 years old.
The 1880s?
The 1980s.
Oh, the 1980s.
Yes,
Okay.
but I was 20 years old. I was still living at home in my parents' basement, and I desperately wanted to move out of the house. And I was working at Taco Bell, and it just wasn't enough money to pay the rent. So I had the opportunity through college to do a co-op program, and I got hired working at a group home. And it was the first job that I was offered that paid enough money for me to get my own apartment. So I took it, and it ended up being a life-changing experience for me. I served as a DSP for several years, and then I was fortunate enough to get promoted to assistant house manager. I was a program coordinator, been a program director and executive director. So I have had the opportunity to see what all kinds of jobs are available in our field and experience many of them. And that's why it's such a great feeling for me to work with the DSPs and the students, to let them know that, this truly is a field where you can make it your own, and you can impact people's lives, and you can impact people's lives at different levels. Because we always need somebody who is going to advocate and support and work with the individuals hands-on, but we also need people to count the money, and we need people to do the hiring, and we need someone who can fix the vans and who knows how to take care of the property. So there's lots of opportunities for people in this as they're doing their career exploration, and that's what I think is really nice, that through their internship, they get the opportunity to see different programs, different areas, and shadow different professionals in the field.
So outside, just like the others, outside of this industry, what do you like to do? And I'm going to just ask you to keep it clean.
Sure, absolutely. I am pleased to tell you that my bowling team has taken first place the last 2 seasons. So
Bowling ball.
Yes.
Those are bigger than the ones we hit with sticks.
Absolutely.
Right, okay.
Absolutely. And you don't want to drop it on your toe either.
Okay.
But yeah, I have enjoyed that and made some really great friends in my bowling league. If I was going to leave here and go anywhere, I think I'd go to Alaska. Want to get there before it melts and see all the beautiful scenery.
What about Alaska do you think you'll enjoy, other than get there before the ice melts?
Yeah, I just think it's different scenery than we have here. I feel like I've been to every beach that is. I love the ocean. I love the waves, but just want to explore the tranquility of the variety of animals and sea life that you would get to see.
Thank you so much for being on the show. I can't wait to share your stories, and you folks have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to The Direct Line. If you or your organization would like to be guests on this podcast, please reach out to podcast@oadsp.org. As long as you support people with developmental disabilities, we would love to hear your story. There is no cost, and we come to you.